Hey guys, it's Queenie. I am on day 3 now of Ethnie's 31 Days of Tarot video challenge. Today's question, or day three's question, are you a tarot collector, a hoarder, or an exclusive Betty? Well, we can take exclusive Betty off the list just by default. I'm a little bit of a deck slut, and I am not ashamed. But I also don't think I fit in the hoarder category. I have no issues giving up a deck that I'm not connecting well with, or that I just don't read anymore at all. There are decks that I wanted really, really, really badly and just ended up couldn't read, or ended up not being able to read with. Labyrinth Tarot was one of them. I love, love, love the artwork. I can't get over the pips for the minors, so I rehomed it, and I've rehomed several of my decks. I would much rather that they are being used than sitting and collecting dust. And I have plenty of tarot decks and oracle decks that I do use, so it's no big deal to me. Do you ever use multiple decks in one reading? I'm paraphrasing the question. Yes, sometimes. Usually, if I'm going to use multiple decks, it's going to be in a combination of tarot and oracle. I think that tarot decks get to a lot of the specifics, and oracle cards are more a little bit more broad, a wider perspective. And also they're that little like sometimes you need that little pep talk like, this situation really sucks ass, but hey, listen, it's all gonna be okay. I have sometimes used more than one tarot deck. I think I was doing somebody asked me to do a personality reading, and so I pulled like three different decks out, and I used a lot of court cards, mixed them up, and that was really fun to do. I might actually play around with something and come up with something to offer. Um, do you think that aids your reading? Sometimes having more than one deck, having more than one perspective, can help readings. Sometimes it's interesting to see how the messages are similar if you're using more than one deck. I've been doing my big New Year's spreads. I use a combination of tarot and like 3 different oracle decks. So if there is one main message that needs to be reinforced, it can be reinforced with 3 different decks, and that happens. That's actually been happening a lot. So that's fun to see. Um, and also, I think just having a lot of decks on hand, it aids readings because um, sometimes sometimes a client will select a deck. They'll choose a deck from the list that I have. A lot of them don't. A lot of them don't choose at all, and they'll just pick whatever's handy or whatever I'm feeling really super connected to at the moment. But sometimes when a client chooses a specific deck that they are feeling drawn to, I will get a message from that deck for them that I wouldn't get from any other deck. It'll be one specific thing that I'll get an email about later, and it's like, oh my God, this thing that you said resonates so strongly, blah, 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 blah. And I love that because that message would not have come through if I had been using any other deck. So I think sometimes it can be a way to kind of connect, your reading to the client, which is difficult sometimes, especially when you're doing a lot of, you know, email readings, sometimes without a question, never seeing your client face to face, or even, meeting them other than, a sterile transaction. So that's fun too. I love my decks. I will always be a collector. Um, I'm trying not to have hundreds, but let's face it, I'll probably get there someday.